You look at the news today, and it feels like the entire world has just sort of paused.
Yeah, there really is
There's
that.
flags are flying at half staff across multiple states, and last night the Empire State Building was glowing bright pink.
Right, pink, which is just so fitting for her.
Exactly. It's this rare moment of just, true global mourning because yesterday, August 25th, 2026, Dolly Parton passed away at the age of 80 after a brief battle with cancer.
Yeah, it's a huge loss.
It really is. So today we're doing a deep dive into a whole stack of sources. We've got obituaries, financial analyses, historical profiles. Our mission here is to figure out the actual business mechanics behind her empire. Like, how did a girl born in a one-room East Tennessee cabin,
Where her dad literally paid the delivery doctor with a sack of cornmeal.
right, a sack of cornmeal, how does she go from that to becoming a universally beloved billion-dollar icon?
Well, to understand that, you really have to look at the camouflage she wore.
The camel.
Yeah, the sources point out that her immense appeal wasn't an accident. It was a meticulously calculated business strategy. She famously modeled her whole exaggerated aesthetic after the town tramp from her childhood.
Oh, famous joke.
Right, that it costs a lot of money to look that cheap.
Yeah. But wait, calling it camouflage? What do you mean by that exactly?
Think about the mechanics of the country music industry when she was coming up. It was aggressively male-dominated, very shrewd.
Sure.
So by adopting this hyper-feminine, almost cartoonish exterior, the massive wigs, the rhinestones, the heavy makeup,
Yeah.
she effectively disarmed all those executives sitting across the table from her. They constantly underestimated her intelligence.
Oh, wow. So they saw the sparkle and completely missed the fact that she was this fierce negotiator securing ironclad contract.
Exactly. They just didn't see it coming.
It's like she was a glittery Trojan horse. They let her right into the boardroom thinking she was just a bubbly singer, not realizing she was quietly conquering their entire industry.
That's a great analogy.
But I have to challenge something in these financial profiles regarding Elvis Presley.
Oh, the publishing rights.
Yeah. So Elvis wanted to record I Will Always Love You, and his manager demanded she sign over half the publishing rights.
And she said no.
Which is wild to me. I read that and thought, turning down the king of rock and roll sounds like career suicide for a young artist. Why on earth would she forfeit that massive exposure?
Because she deeply understood the crucial mechanical difference between a temporary surge in fame and, well, generational wealth.
Right.
If Elvis sings your song, you get a quick spike in record sales and some great publicity.
Yeah, everyone knows your name for a minute.
Exactly. But publishing rights dictate who owns the underlying composition forever. By refusing to sign over half of that copyright, she ensured that every single time the song was played on the radio or covered by another artist or licensed for a film, she got paid.
And that bet paid off so astronomically when Whitney Houston covered it decades later for The Bodyguard.
Oh, massively. Millions of dollars.
For anyone listening who is navigating their own career, it is such a powerful lesson. The immediate clout of being associated with the biggest name in your industry isn't always worth sacrificing your long-term ownership. I mean, she wrote over 3,000 songs and owned her work.
Yeah, that decision protected her assets. And those assets funded a philanthropic machine that literally altered modern science and local economies.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting to me. The scientific legacy highlighted in these sources is just wild to read. She partially funded the early research that led to the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine.
Right, which saved countless lives.
And we can't forget Dolly the sheep, the first cloned mammal. That scientists named the sheep after her because it was cloned from a mammary gland cell.
It just shows her phenomenal sense of humor about her own public image. They asked her about it and she just laughed.
She really owned it.
She did. But if we look at the mechanics of her philanthropy, what's fascinating is how well it scaled. On a global level, you have the vaccine funding and her imagination library.
Which has gifted over 100 million free books to children, right?
Over 100 million, yeah. It's incredible. But she also engineered her local economy.
You're talking about Dollywood.
I am. She didn't just build a theme park for vanity. She placed it deliberately in her home region of East Tennessee, which was a deeply economically depressed area at the time.
Right. Very rural. Very few jobs.
Exactly. And by doing so, she manufactured an entirely new tourism industry there, bringing in massive sustainable job growth and tax revenue that transformed the region's infrastructure.
So she leveraged her fame to create a self-sustaining economic engine for the exact people she grew up with. It really reframes how we should look at celebrity wealth.
Yeah, she manufactured a larger-than-life, entirely artificial character. The wigs, the outfits, the rhinestones.
Yeah.
But she used that constructed vehicle to deliver incredibly authentic, real-world good.
That actually brings up something I've been chewing on while reading through all of this. We live in a culture right now that is obsessed with this idea of authenticity.
Oh, for sure.
Every influencer and public figure is pressured to show their unfiltered, raw, private life to monetize it. And they usually end up burning out.
Mm-hmm.
But Dolly succeeded by doing the exact opposite. She fiercely protected her private life by creating and monetizing an avatar.
That's a really interesting way to look at it.
It makes you wonder, is the modern obsession with exposing our true selves actually a trap? Did Dolly prove that sometimes wearing a highly constructed mask is actually the best way to protect your humanity while doing the most good?
That is a very provocative thought to leave off on.
Yeah, definitely something to mull over.